Hey guys, what's wrong with a lot of online English courses, or even one on one English courses for that matter? As you can see, my friend over here, boring. You learn a lot of instruction, a lot of it is good, and it comes to, it really helps us out. But the fact of the matter is practicing and listening to what the lessons are like, they are just out of control, out of your mind. And so it can be so boring. But what about if we had a way to learn English using American movies? I'm talking about grade A blockbuster movies and where you're learning and having fun at the same time. How would you like to be able to sound just like those guys that are on the big screen? Well, we'll show you how, so stay tuned.
No woman wakes up saying, God, I hope I don't get swept off my feet today.
Okay, guys. So we're from the very get-go. We're actually learning some things about American accent here from Will Smith's first two words out of his mouth. Now, notice what he says here. He says basic principles. Basic principles. Now, what we're going to about here just briefly are a couple of things that's going to make a huge difference in obtaining an American accent and really speaking like the people around you. You might be living in the States, or you'll be working with ones that are from America, and you want to sound like them, while you're around them anyway. Should be able to turn it off and on depending on who you're with. So notice what it says here, basic principles. Now, why didn't it say it didn't sound like basic principles? Now, many times that's how my students sound. That's how people sound that are not originally from the States or have grown up here. Now, the reason for this is because of something called the schwa. Now, the schwa basically replaces vowel sounds like this I and this I here with a sound that sounds like uh. It's almost like air. In other words, they kind of disappear. Why? Because of the schwa. And many times when American speakers speak, these things, you'll find out that some of these vowel sounds actually disappear, such as this, basic principles. Notice how only the A here and then the I have really been pronounced. It's this I here and then this I actually disappear. It's almost as if you're saying basic principles, as if they don't even exist. And so now what we're going to do is we're going to look at what it looks like if you were to put the schwa, and this is what it's going to look like, or how you should actually say it. Okay, hold on for 1 second. Okay, so we're back. Notice how it now looks like basic principles. Basic principles. You actually go right into the C. Basic principles. Principles. You really don't say the I. It only sounds like a sound, doesn't it? Principles. Very good. And so we're learning right from the get-go with this as well. Now notice here you have an S here. Notice how I say it. Basic principles. Notice how this S almost sounds like a Z. And that's exactly what it should be. And so that's our next lesson for the day, is that this is called a voiced S. And what I mean by voiced S is that some of the S's in English actually have what's called a voice sound or vibration or Z. And how you get that is by using your voice throughout the whole word when you go through S. And what happens many times is that what people will do is that they'll only use their voice up until about this point here, and then the rest of it we have is just that S has just an air sound, and it sounds like this: principles. And notice how that S just has an air sound to it. Now, that's not how it works with American English. With American English, many times if you use an ES to make something plural, like in this case, you have principle, it will be your singular form, right? Now, to make it principles, multiple or a form, a plural form, you'll add an es or make it an es to do this. What usually happens is that part of the rule here, that one of the rules you can go by, and many times, again, that doesn't happen all the time, is that this S actually turns into a Z sound, or you're actually using your voice. And that's the rule when it comes to voiced S. Now, there's other rules to it, but this one will really get you far. If you have an ES to make something plural, then you'll have the voice sound. So why don't you give that a try? Principles, pulls. And then what you can do is actually put your fingers on your throat there, right around where your voice box is. And when you get to this part here, zzz, it should sound like a Z. And it also your vocal cords should be vibrating. You should say principles. Now, if it says principles, then you're not doing it right, and you're not using your voice throughout the whole thing. And I'll guarantee you something. I've known many foreigners, ones that were born outside of the United States and speak English very well. But this voiced Z or voiced S actually is something that they're missing. Many times they'll say, get those boxes. Oh, I forgot my glasses. And it now most English speakers won't really know exactly what you're talking about or what sounds differently, but they do know that sounds different. And so you'll get that voiced S here many times is really what's lacking and what actually can add to an accent. So why don't we go through this together? We're going to add the schwa here, which makes the I disappear here and here. And then we're going to finish it off with the Z sound here, or a voiced S. And we're going to sound just like Will Smith. Okay, you ready? Basic principles. Basic principles. Very, very good. All right, you've just completed your first lesson in how to get an American accent through American films and movies. We'll talk to you soon. Well, thanks for joining me today, and I hope you enjoyed the movie lesson here. I know you're having fun watching the movie trailers and also learning how to speak like an American actor as well. It's fun and interesting, isn't it? And one of the other services I do provide is, even though you do have some of my lessons here, I've got more of them for my private students. You could have one-on-one with me, and we'll be just directly focused on what it is that you need. As it says here, laser focus. Not everyone's the same. Everyone's going to have their specific needs, especially depending on your background and where you're from, the certain circumstances that you might need. It might be you're studying for a medical exam that you're going to be taking to be a doctor in the States or an English-speaking country. Maybe you need it for work or what have you, and you'll get that one-on-one attention from me. We'll be laser focused on exactly what it is that you want, what it is that you're looking for, and you're going to have all the extras. That's true. I give quite a bit away of it here because I'm intent on helping those that really want to learn. But you'll have extra sound files, you'll have extra movies, you'll have extra feedback, all from me specifically for what it is that you're looking for. And so I'm sure you're having fun with this as well, just as I am making and creating it for you absolutely for free. If you want to take your English to the next level, it means that much to you, please contact me and we'll work something out together. Thanks again for watching, and take care.